number will do.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Welcome, episode 122.
That's what we were just discussing, wasn't it?
Yep, 122. Well, that's what I've been promoting.
Is it?
That's on the artwork.
Is it?
I could be wrong.
I thought it was 123. I thought 122 was last week. Oh, well, we'll find out soon enough. So welcome aboard on a very odd day.
It is. Odd for us. It's Wednesday.
That's right.
And it feels like a Tuesday and it's behaving like a Friday. Isn't it? Got a couple
You're behaving like it's Friday.
We've got a couple of public holidays down here in Melbourne.
That's right. So we've got the Memorial Day. That's on tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the AFL.
Grand final day.
That's right.
Yeah,
and if you don't know, that's the Australian Football League.
Yeah.
And that's where it sort of looks like rugby, sort of doesn't. Sort of looks like Gaelic football, sort of doesn't. It's our own kind of football, isn't it?
I think you're just making it up, mate.
No, it's all true.
Is it?
It is.
Allegedly.
So that's all going to happen on tomorrow and Friday. So we decided we're going to be closed up. So both our stores are going to be closed those days. We're going to be having a bit of a rest, and then we reopen on Saturday.
That's right. But we thought we'd do the show now because YouTube goes 24/7.
That's right.
And we can watch this anytime over the break.
That's right. And we've got heaps of stuff that turned up as well. So we've got heaps to talk about.
You say that every week, BJ. Feels like we were just filming. It feels like we were just filming a couple of days ago. What have we got? Who's watching? Welcome to hordes of people.
Oh, that's me. Oh,
what have I got?
Mr. Jeff's on.
What have I got here?
You have got a Kyoto. Well, the green one.
Kyoto.
Is a Kyoto Lucky Dip Ball.
Lucky,
if you're in Japan, they'll come out of a vending machine.
A vending machine.
Yeah.
We don't have a vending machine.
No.
But we've got a rather large basket.
That's right. And it's
of
full of
Lucky
balls.
Dip balls. And we're having Panda of the Week.
That's right. Okay, so we've got Panda of the Week.
Yep.
Now, within this ball, there's the option of any of these 4 options. So
let's go to Overhead Town.
Overhead Town.
Overhead Town population 1. Here we
go.
go. We're on. So are you saying that there's 4 Panda options in here? So we need people to help out. Is that right? And then at the end of the episode, we will reveal which panda, in fact, we've been nesting.
That's right.
Yeah, and we'll build it on camera.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll rearrange it and we'll play around with it. That'd be interesting, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, let's
all right,
go.
so get into it. So what have we got? What are we going to call it? So,
Blue Panda.
So we
Blue Panda, green Panda.
We've got playing Panda with the tire. We've got playing Panda with the bed. We've got standing Panda. Well, actually, they're all the same Panda, right? So Panda with the milk and the bottle. And then we've got just born pink Panda. I didn't say pink panther, pink Panda. All right.
Pinky.
Okay, so there's the 4 there.
And they're posable. They're posable pandas.
That's right.
That's a mouthful.
Yes. So we've got BT on.
Help us.
Who's BT?
Let's go.
BT says, hi, Brett and BJ. Enjoy the long weekend.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back to the front. Here we go. So pandas.
All right, so
Kyoto ball. What did you call it?
Kyoto Lucky Dip Ball.
There we go.
Yep.
I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put the pandas to the side.
Yep.
And I want you guys to help out. So Panda of the Week.
Yep. We've got no idea. We haven't opened this. It's all fully sealed.
It's going to be a shock reveal. Shock reveal.
I want to see the pink one.
Enough of you and pink pandas, mate. What have I got here?
You've got Flinders Street Station. And why have we got Flinders Street Station?
Well, I thought I didn't have enough on my plate. So you know what? I thought I might do some little Lego, some nano blocks.
Yeah. Pretty tiny, isn't it?
It's tiny.
You know how many bits are actually in there?
Yeah.
How many?
201.
Hey?
430.
430.
I was close.
You looked at the wrong number, you fool.
I couldn't help it.
Yes, that's it.
A special studio guest is egging me on.
That's
Hi,
right.
Jeff. So look at the detail. Getting close. Go in the overhead. Have you had it before? Nano blocks.
Have I had this before?
Change the camera on the thing.
Oh,
let's have a look.
Me to do?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's get in.
no.
Let's get. You have to get in there tight like a tiger.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I wasn't on the ball.
You're still in the pink panda phase.
So you were reading that for 201. That's actually the part number, okay?
I know. Well, I was just
That's
a wild
201.
guess, but it's definitely 430 pieces.
That's
it says
right.
right there.
So this is very, very Melbourne. Can't get much more Melbourne than this. It's even got the Melbourne tram. Okay, I reckon the tram is most okay.
And we've got a lot of out-of-towners in at the moment
That's
visiting
right.
us for the football.
Yes.
And these are going to be a hot ticket item.
That's it.
They're
Who's in the footy? In the final?
2 footy teams. One of them is not Collingwood. So it matters very little
What's
to
the
me.
Swans, isn't it?
One is the Swans.
And the other one is what?
Geelong.
And Geelong.
Geelong.
Ah. And that's coming from two guys that follow the football. We
Mate,
don't follow the football.
Collingwood was out, mate. That was it. It was over for me.
Oh, I watched a bit of that. They were coming, and then they couldn't quite make it. So it was an exciting match.
I was that excited I pulled my moustache out.
I was wondering where that went. You looked a bit thinner, right? You lost weight.
Really?
Yeah, like you lost a kilo or something.
I just
Did you weigh that after it came
I
off?
needed a bit more aerodynamic aid getting into turn one, mate.
Let's have a
That's all.
close look here.
What's that? You can't. Good looking rooster. Great looking rooster.
Thanks.
No,
All right, so we're looking at that again.
no blocks. No, I'm done.
Oh, you're
I'm
done.
over it.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't really build that, by the way. The company who supplied it built that for us,
Yes,
and it's glued together.
but it's really nice model.
Craggle,
Got
is
the
that
train
right?
on one side.
Craggled?
That's what.
Craggle glue. Seen it in a movie somewhere.
Craggle glue.
Craggle.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that from Craggle Rock or something?
From the Lego.
Oh, is it? Oh, there you go. Sorry. I've seen the Lego
You-
movie, but I wasn't paying any attention.
You're not quite with it, are you, mate?
No, not at all. Okay,
It's
let's
a-
move on.
It's a Wednesday that feels like a Friday.
Oh, there
We're
you
all
go.
confused.
All right, so here we go. So Willie's got a question.
Already?
Will the Panda live in the station? Quite possibly, depending which Panda we get.
Yes.
If the Panda will fit, it will live in the station. If it doesn't fit, it's going to live on the station.
In this station.
Yeah, that's right.
What scale is the Panda? He can go in our little N-scale railway
Oh, yeah, maybe.
next to the TARDIS.
Could be. It'll either look like a miniature one or a gigantic one. Either way,
Could be the right size one.
might be perfect size. Maybe.
I'm not up to scratch on Panda scale.
Aren't you? We'll have to get one in.
Show me some cool stuff.
What do we want to see? We're going to see green stuff.
Yep.
Yep. Because we've got a whole heap of
You're
green stuff.
busting in. And this is your forte, isn't it?
Full tape.
Forte. Green stuff world.
What have we got here?
Let me get the little Panda out the way.
This is something new.
What is it?
This is a mitre cutter.
I don't have one.
Oh, yeah? What's that mean?
Not sure.
So this helps you cut material, and it helps you to measure it while you're doing it. So if you need to cut a whole lot of say little bricks, you can preset the cutting edge to really straight.
It has brick setting.
Doesn't have brick setting. Imagine if it did. We'll be millionaires. So there you go. You can change the angles. You've got these adjusters here. So you just loosen off those lugs and you can slide these around and you change the angles. And there's a cutting blade and just uses a regular sort of packaging knife blade. So you can get those anywhere. It's just screwed in place.
Comes with titanium nitride blade.
Well, that's a bit special, isn't it? Because you won't be able to find those at your local office supply store. And then there's a handle where you just press it down and you just cut as you press it across. So really handy, particularly if you're doing ships or any sort of scratch building.
Or sausages.
Sausages. Yeah. All right.
Estimated assembly time.
Yep, because you got to build
They
this.
say that ships take years. They said you can do it in 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's only for this one, right? It's not a ship. It's a
Oh,
tool.
that's just for the
You
machine.
got to
That's-
build the tool,
Oh,
right? So there we go.
I
All right,
am
so that gives you
sure.
an idea of some of the adjustments you can do.
Have you used that on your Mephisto fillet?
No, not as yet, but I wish I did. Certain bits that would have been easier to cut,
You could have cut the spokes.
but I won't cut wire.
But you
But it
wouldn't
would have
cut
helped
the
anyway.
spokes.
So that's new, and that's a really interesting tool, I think.
A miter cutter.
Mitre cutter.
What
Yep.
else have we got?
So we've got some. This is a really interesting material.
This is all green stuff world.
So this is called phenolic carving foam. So in the RC world, we know phenolic for phenolic washers. Do you remember those the little plastic washers that used to go on the commutator on the end of a motor?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same material, but they made it like a foam, so it's aerated. So it is quite light, but it's much firmer than any foam that we traditionally use for model making. So even that foam that you use for doing the base of your layout,
Mm-hmm.
this is firmer than that. So when you carve it, maybe I'll just see here. See how they're carving brick shapes and things into it? So these are actually going to be a lot firmer and greater detail.
I think I need a BJ tutorial on this.
So yeah, and you can glue it with any standards of glue, CA glue, wood glue, and then you can paint over it, no problem.
So you could use that for a base, like
You use
a
it
road
as
base.
a base or use it for
A
making
wall?
walls. Yep. So it's very lightweight. So it's got a lot of good structure. And then once you carve it, it'll be fully sealed up with just a very light coating of wood glue, or even paint would hold it all together too. So we've got that in quite a variety of different sizes. Okay, so that's a 4 mil.
Do you use CA or super glue on it, or do you use like a wood glue?
Either will work. So it depends how much strength.
Because foam, generally, if you use super glue, it will just burn that sucker.
Yeah, but this won't. And it's also very high temperature. So the advantage is if you put it into a display cabinet with some old school lights, they do get quite warm, and foam can warp. This stuff won't.
Anti-warpage.
So this one is, where is it? This withstands temperatures up to 150 degrees. Okay, so no cabinet will get up to that temperature unless you stick it in the oven. And you're not going to be putting these in the oven, are you?
Well,
okay, so there's 4 mil.
Not above 150, that's for sure.
And there's 10 mil thickness.
Not as thick as some.
Yep.
What else have we got from Green Stuff World, mate?
We've got plenty. So
get out your basket. Get out your shopping basket.
I've got to bring this stuff first.
All right, you get on there. I'll go over here.
All right, so we've got some new stuff, and we've got some stuff that's just really popular, super popular. These are the dice molds. So people can make their own die.
Ah, do you put resin in there and stuff, yeah?
You can. You squeeze the UV resin into it.
Yep.
Use a UV torch.
So the UV torch goes through that casing?
Yes.
And that's reusable. Is it like a latex? Is it a latex? What is it?
Yeah, crack it open.
Oh, so this is like your hand cast models that you always bang on about.
That's right. So there's the top, right?
So
this is how you get it out. But when you're going to cast it, you make sure that what was that? Made a little funky sound.
Must be the sables getting loose.
I think. Yeah.
Doesn't look very
like a little hat.
Doesn't look very good on the white.
No.
So, and there's all sorts of die in here. So there's, what's that, 12-sided, 20-sided?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Everybody loves the 20-sided.
So all you got to do is, see how it's got the cap on the end and it's got the hole? So you just put it on a flat surface.
Yep.
You squeeze the resin into it. And then with the torch, you just hold the torch all the way around like this. And then it'll harden. Pop the top off it. Squeeze it and it'll pop out.
And you can bedazzle it. And you can put stones in there. You know what would look really cool? If somebody did a glow-in-the-dark resin.
Did you say bedazzle? You and your new words. Well, you can. Okay, so the glow-in-the-dark resin, well, we actually got some of that. So
as well?
Yeah, in different colors now. But the glow-in-the-dark, well, the resin itself, we've used that on our layout, haven't we? To make the water effects.
The water, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was clear, though.
Yes, but now we've got them tinted.
And Panda used it on his tail light.
That's right. And
he tinted
it with some paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, we'll do a tutorial on that. We'll show you how that works. Pop those back. So they're the die molds. They're really popular.
Super popular, aren't they? And that's for all your gamers.
That's it.
Can we call it miniatures?
Miniatures, yeah.
Miniatures gaming?
Yep. RPG, all that sort of thing. All right, what else we got? We have some accessories from Green Stuff World. And these are actually another brand, which is Puppets of War. And they're accessories for figures.
Puppets of War.
Yeah. So let's look at these from the top, eh?
That's a bit hectic, isn't it? Puppets of War. What are we looking at?
I'm going to try and get really close so we can see the detail on these. So there's a whole bunch of different heads in here.
You need to get tight like a toy gun.
Is that focus?
I lost focus a couple of hours ago.
Did you now?
What have you got there, mate? So these are Sentinel Captain helmets.
Okay, so you get a variety of them. They're all the same. So there's 5 heads in there, so you can quite easily customize your figurines.
And that's resin.
Your resin, yep. Okay, so from there we've got...
Extreme detail.
What are these guys? Vampire Champion helmets. So they're really cool. They've got the little winglet on the back of their helmets.
I'm glad that they're not Vampire Loser helmets.
Very knight looking. And then, what else we got here? Oh, these are Zealot. Zealots.
What does that stand for?
I don't know. They've got quite good faces. Hopefully you can see all that there. But this is just 3 of them. We've got a whole bunch of them. They're up on the wall.
And this is to accessorize and customize your
28mm. Yeah, that's right.
So you could use that on your Cromlech figures?
Absolutely.
Is that what you do?
Yep. And your Games Workshop figures and any other figures.
So if you're into gaming,
yep,
we've got some detailed heads.
That's it.
What else have we got in your goodies box?
But you picked these out actually,
I did pick these out
which is something that we've had
because
for a while.
I didn't know what they were.
These are actually color shapers. Okay, so these are in the shape of a brush, but they've got soft ends on them, which are silicone. And they're different colors because there's different hardnesses of the silicone.
I like 36s.
So you know, they're tires. Now you use these with modeling putties. So either with
putties.
green stuff putty, you know, if you say sculpting a head yourself, type of thing.
Yep.
Or milliput or Tamiya putty or any of those putties. And they come with a variety of shapes.
Shapes and sizes.
Okay, so the different colors mean the hardness. Okay, so this one's white. You see here, they're the soft ones.
Soft.
So what it means is as you're sculpting with these, unlike a steel tool, which is not going to change shape and give you a really sharp edge, this will bend. So
and
you use this
a bit.
Yeah, so you use this for blending. It gives a softer edge. Okay, so you've got different shapes to work with. And these are great for doing organic shapes like faces and heads and hands and things. Even the folds in fabric. Okay, from there we've got...
Wonder what you were going to say there.
folds in your fabric. We've got black ones. Okay, so they're the firm ones.
Ooh,
a bit stiffer.
There's a muscle.
Yep, and then we've got the red ones, which are extra firm. Okay, so not quite the same as a metal tool.
There's very little context in those words are allowed to come out of your mouth, mate.
Which ones?
Extra firm.
Extra firm tool.
Lucky that we're talking about these, yeah.
Yep. Well, as long as you understand what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Yep. And that's the great thing about having all these different colors, because when you pull them out of the packet, you're going to mix up all the different tools, right? So if you need
you'd probably have them standing in a jar or a paintbrush holder or something, yeah?
That's right. And they'll be really easy to recognize. So you don't have to touch the tips of each one to check them out. You just see the color and just go straight for it. And they've got really long handles.
Color-coded handles as well.
Yeah. And then you can see the tips there.
Super
Good
cool
stuff.
Color shapers.
That's it. Okay. But that's not the only thing.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Is that what you're saying?
We've got these tools here, which are really handy for not just gamers, but also plastic model builders. Okay, so we've got the mini razor saw, which is this one. So it comes with 3 cutting bits.
Sounds like a comic book character.
Razor saw.
Razor saw.
Razor saw. Does it?
A little bit.
I don't know. So these are just interchangeable blades and a handle. Really handy. So we'll bring those on the overhead in a sec.
I'm not
this
allowed
is
sharp
the
things.
rivet maker. So it looks a bit like a pizza cutter. It's like a tiny pizza cutter, but it's got serrated wheels.
It's for scale size pizza.
But it marks a little hole, so you know where the rivets go. So you can either use that for creating the rivet effect, you leave it as is, or you use that as a marker and you drill out those holes.
We might be putting nice patterns on top of your meat pies.
Meat pies.
No, you put
chunky meat pie. And then we've got the Scriber. So Scriber is really handy, particularly for cleaning up plastic model kits where you join the pieces together and the panel lines don't quite match. So you can use that.
So could you describe how you would use that?
Describe how I would use a Scriber.
Yes.
So you could use a knife as well, but knives are quite harsh and they don't necessarily remove. So these are not as sharp as a knife, and it's got a hook on it. So the hook actually pulls back and takes out a bit of material. Okay, so let's look at the overhead.
Let's go with the Scribe first.
Okay, so there's a Scriber. So there's a blade itself. There's a hook type blade.
And what, you would use that for panel lines?
Yeah, you generally use it for panel lining. Yeah.
Would you use it for cleaning up paintwork?
Not necessarily. You see how this edge here is curved? You could even use that as a scraper. But that's the general part that you'd be using there, the pointy end there. And you put that where you need the panel line, and you'll pull back to scribe the line, and it'll pull up a very fine piece
I
of
think
material.
I need one of your famous tutorials on that.
One of these as well?
Yeah. You're going to be busy next week with
Looks
tutorials.
like it. And now what we got? We've got the
educate
rivet.
me.
That's the rivet tool. Okay, so there's 3 different wheels with
riveting.
different types of teeth on them. Okay, I might have to
There's
zoom
a
in so I can see.
B, C, and D. Where's A? A will be in there.
Oh, it could be.
So you come with 4 wheels and 4 profile rivets. So you
And it
run
does.
that. You run that along a panel line like a pizza cutter.
Yep, and it
and
leaves that mark.
textures it.
That's right.
And you could use that on top of your paintwork, I'm assuming.
We'll generally use it before paintwork, but you could do it after paintwork as well. You just got to be really careful if it's already painted. So there's one in there.
Everything looks better with rivets.
So it's good. It's just interchangeable. So you can change the gap pattern between the rivets.
I knew today's show would be riveting.
You're riveted already, are you? All right. And then finally, what do we got? This is the razor saw. Okay, so you got a handle here.
Mini hobby razor saw.
The clip-in blades. And then there's 3 different shapes and also types of teeth on these. And these are great for cutting bits out when you're doing customizing.
So what in what application?
So I'm
if
doing
you're cutting chins off.
That's right. Like I've been modifying one of those radio control comical drivers.
Yep.
I used a saw similar to this just to chop it all off because it's very thick plastic. You can use a knife, but a knife would be quite dangerous because you need to use a lot of passes, and this will just go straight through it.
And it upsets wife.
What's that?
When I get the steak knife out and start using it in the workshop, she gets a bit upset.
Really?
Mm.
It's not the same after that?
No.
So that's that. Really handy. So there's some extra tools from Green Stuff. But guess what?
What?
There's more.
Show me. This is some cool stuff.
So here's the box of bits.
You know who would love this?
Who would love that?
Jeff. He'd call it BJ's Bento Box.
That's my Bento Box.
Hey, for sure. What's in your Bento Box, Beej? Let's jump right in there and have a look.
Yep.
Carving set. You're all about the carving.
The carving's good because Green Stuff do concentrate on a lot of these carving type tools. Now these would be great for doing panel lines and also for carving plastic. So quite a lot of the figurines are in plastic, and if you want to change their clothing, say, you can use these quite easily to carve that out. So there's a variety of different shaped chisels in there.
Yep.
And then you've got this big handle pin vise. So it's got the chuck on the top.
Oh,
let's
that's
crack
what
it open.
Really?
Yeah.
It's got a staple and stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get my stabby cutty.
You
can keep going and look at something else. I don't like doing this with pressure.
This stuff is not
could
exactly new, but really handy. So we've got empty bottles. Okay, so empty paint bottles, which are in the shape of Green Stuff board bottles, very similar to Vallejo. So they do have the nozzles on the top as well. Little ball bearings here, which you can add to each bottle for helping you mix. So these are perfect for if you're doing your custom colors for airbrushing. And
they got the jingly bits.
That's right. And you can mix it up.
And they're plastic, so they won't smash.
That's right. What's plastic? They're metal, aren't they?
No, the
balls are metal, but the bottles are plastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Because quite often
you can squeezy.
Yeah, that's right. You can squeeze it straight into your airbrush pot. We've got to go in everywhere.
I love that idea.
Because sometimes you can get glass bottles, and if you put metal ball bearings in them, you smash the bottles.
Yeah.
That's happening before, and it goes everywhere.
Especially when I get carried away giving it the big old Mexican backhand.
You and your Mexican backhand. You learned that in Mexico.
Yep.
And then these are the big ones. These are the 30 mil.
They're hectic size.
Yeah. So you can either use these for doing, like big mixes of paint.
Lots.
Or
just
you can
about painting your house.
Yeah, or you can use that for making muds and stuff. Mixing pigments together and weathering effects. But there's a whole use for all these. Even put thinners in these.
Thinners?
Yep. What do you got there?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you cracked this open.
Yeah.
Let's have a closer look.
You have a look at that one.
All right.
I'm into this one. This sounds...
You like that?
Sounds very industrial.
Was it?
It's like a dentistry kit from the 1900s.
Is it?
No?
The doctors had stuff like that, eh? All right, let's go on the overhead.
Let's go to overhead town.
This is what we get in the carving set.
Can I have a play?
Yep. It's real lightweight, isn't it?
Nice. It's got a really nice...
Oh, did you see that? How did I do that?
Wow.
Oh,
throwing things.
It's like a circus.
This is uncanny.
That's uncanny. All right, so you see all those different bits. Let me open it up so it's a bit easier to see.
Do you need your Optrix 5 on for this?
There we go.
Oh, look how precision.
So you've got triangular ones, square ones, round ones. So you've got different shaped bits for pretty much anything you need. All right. And you see how there we've got the shank. Got the traditional chisel. And then that just drops into your pin vise. Your pin vise there. Open that up a bit. That's it.
Just open it up a bit, tighten it back up.
Yep.
And then scrape away.
Oh, there you go, scraping away. What are you doing? Fingernail?
Yeah, I'm going to use it to sculpt fingernails.
Yep. That's really good. It's got a really big handle to it, so you can hold it like so. And then you've got the milled rotating part at the end too. So you can hold like this and rotate. Actually rotate like this.
Is it?
You can, yeah, because you can also put drill bits in this and use that as a traditional pin vise. It's really handy.
It's a nice pin vise.
Oh, lost it.
It's got it inside, in the depths
There we
of
go.
the tool.
So this is brand new.
Really nice feel.
Yep.
I like it.
That's nice.
I
Nice
bet,
clippy case. Keeps
I
all your
bet one
bits
of these
together.
will go on your bench. So that
There's
is
a good
the
chance.
now. I
What do you got
got
here?
the 10-piece sculpting tool set,
Oh, look at that.
and I just like the case.
Look how shiny it
That
is.
looks scary. Seriously, that is like some scary looking stuff.
And again, these are the tools used for sculpting. So these are the hard tools for getting all the really sharp details.
Mm-hmm.
And the soft stuff we used before is to soften those details if you need to, for doing folds on fabric and faces and things. That looks like a lot of like dental tools, doesn't it? But there's a full set. You can't really go wrong. You got pointed sort of stabby bits, and you got rounded.
Is that
Scoopy
technical
bits?
term?
Yeah.
So we got stabby bits,
Yep.
scoopy bits,
Yeah. And you got that rounded end there. You could even use that as a roller on certain parts.
and rolly bits.
And rolly bits. And that's only just on one. Okay, this is only one that I pulled out. Now we've got these other ones. We've got more pointy bits. So more spatula style. So you can use that for applying putties like this across the surface. And then you've got these sort of shapes here as well. So you can either use the concave part or the convex part.
So you
What
could use it
wanna do.
on resin stuff, yeah? Really hard, like...
Well, you use this on soft, like green stuff putty
Oh,
for
okay.
shaping it.
Yep.
So it's got more shapes than a knife. Most of your sculpting can be done with a knife, but if you're doing specialist lines and such, you really want something like this, where you've got a whole selection of being able to do any shape you want. Pretty good, isn't it?
That's a bit out of my league, mate.
Out of your league.
It's a bit special for
so
me.
This is for the full-on sculptors.
That is pretty. That is really artistic, isn't it?
Nice little case.
Beautiful little case.
Yep.
It's almost a shame to get it dirty. Nice little zip-up thing.
Carry it around. All right. The most important thing is this. This is actual green stuff. Now, green stuff hasn't been around for a little bit, but we've got some stock back in.
Well, we keep getting it, and people keep buying it.
That's right. It shows its popularity, doesn't it? And it shows how good it is. This is the
I
stuff
wanted to know about this stuff.
you want to know about brown stuff. Okay, so we've got green stuff and we've got brown stuff. And green stuff is a more traditional, well, it's a better known stuff because it's a slightly tacky consistency, which is sticky,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little bit elastic when it sets, and it gives really fine details and super smooth skin sort of complexions. Some of these other putties are really gritty.
Yep.
And they feel like pottery type clay, and they don't give the right effect. So,
So
this
are you
is popular
saying?
because
Are
of
you
that.
saying like milliput?
Yep.
Is that a gritty one?
It's slightly gritty.
And
Yep.
this one here, brown
This
stuff.
one here, this is still elastic, but it's harder in consistency than green stuff. So you use that where you need more structural strength. So if you're building a really big figure, then you probably don't want to do it all in green stuff because it flexes so much, you may break it easily. So you may want this. Also, if you need something really stiff and you want to sand it easily, then you use this stuff because green stuff doesn't sand that well by itself because of its elasticity.
Yeah, sort of galls up a bit.
That's right. And then sometimes people actually mix the two, or even with milliput, or mix milliput with green stuff, and it gives that sandability.
That sounds
You
a
don't
bit
like that
loose.
idea?
That sounds a bit loose, mate.
Right, there you
You
go.
can't just go willy-nilly
That's
with your brown stuff and your green stuff
No.
and just making your own. That's why it comes in a packet,
No.
mate.
Well, what we're talking about putties, what is this?
I like it's got magic.
Magic sculpt.
Anything that gets going to open it.
Well, you can.
What can we do with it?
Oh, well, probably best not to.
Right.
Because once you open it, it's unsealed. So this is fairly wet in consistency compared to the other putties.
Yeah.
So when you mix this up, you can actually smear it onto items. Okay, so that's where this can be used on top of.
Smear? What, like
Yeah.
Vegemite or butter?
Well, it's
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, but it's not that liquid. Okay, so it's solid, but it's soft enough that you can smear it across the surface, a bit like a soft dough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know that. So that's
Yeah.
like a harder dough. This is like a softer dough.
Okay.
So quite often you would use this for texturing items, or doing super fine details, or this has been really popular for doing tank Zimmet. So on German tanks in World War II, they had this paste they put on them called Zimmet.
Yep.
And it's really hard to get the
Stipple finish.
well, yeah, to get it sharp and also to put on a thin enough finish. If you use the other stuff, it looks like concrete's been applied.
Yep.
But you use this stuff and you apply it, you smear it on, and then you apply your textures, and it looks really good. So all these putties are there with different consistencies for a different purpose. So quite often people will mix them.
And what's
altogether.
silicon putty?
And then we've got silicone
Talk to me
putty.
about that one.
Okay, so you know all about green. Oh no, not green stuff. Blue
I
stuff.
feel that we've gone putty mad.
We have. So blue stuff is a heat activated, like a silicon for copying objects.
That's the one
Or
you put in
replicating.
hot water.
That's right.
Yes.
And then you mold it around something. When it cools down, it keeps its shape.
Yes.
Yeah. Silicon actually holds a better shape because with blue stuff, if you don't squeeze it properly, it can distort. Okay, so for quick stuff and simple shapes, it's great. But if you want to get all the detail in something intricate, or you want to do multiple copies that look about the same, then this works better. So this is a 2-part silicon. You mix it together, you press it onto the item that you're going to replicate, and then it'll solidify, and then it won't change shape again. You put it in hot water, it won't change the shape. So whatever you pour into that mold will always come out correct.
Really?
Yeah. So this gives you a bit of an indication on the back of the packet here.
I've always wanted to recreate my little finger.
Have you? So you see how complicated this base is here? So that's the sort of things that you'll be looking at. And then also faces, because faces have a lot of sharp details. So after it's been mixed, you get the 2 parts together. So one part will probably be white, I'm guessing, and the other part is darker. And then when it's mixed, it changes to this tone. Once the tone is the same color, you press it over the surface, let it set. And then once it's solidified, press it out, and then you'll be able to use that for the molds for copying anything. And you get quite a bit of stuff.
And you could use UV resin inside that?
You can use UV resin in there as well, or more traditional resins. You can use anything you like, really. You can push milliput or green stuff into it. That'll all work as well. And I think this is really popular with jewelry makers.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because it's easy to handle. Because traditionally you would pour silicon, and silicon is quite painful to mix. And if you're doing small items, then putty, being something thicker, is a lot easier to handle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there you go. You get quite a bit there. Okay, so that's the silicon putty. So that's back in stock.
Surely that's enough putties.
What else we got? Well, this is the stuff that you're really interested in.
I'm puttied out.
What are these?
You tell me.
These are the UV resins. So you've seen us use the UV resins on the water effects for the little layout.
Choo-choo train.
Yep. What we'll do with this stuff is this is actually...
I think you better get to overhead.
Overhead time. These are UV... Sorry, the word is fluorescent.
Fluorescent. Fluoro.
Okay, so these are glow in the dark. So what happens is... Well, actually, glow in the dark is radioactive, isn't it? So it gets charged up with natural light, and then when you turn off the lights, it glows. Okay, so they'll have fluoro pigments in them. And these would be great for fantasy figures or bases, or even for, you know, that classical animation style radioactive glowing goo or stuff like that.
Ooze.
Ooze.
Can we call it ooze? Like
You can. So
I'm old. Do you know who come from ooze?
Who came from ooze?
Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles come from ooze.
And then we got the blue.
Cowabunga.
What else we got here? Oh, we got 2 yellows here. How come we got 2 yellows here?
Probably because you were just a bit wild.
Oh, maybe. I think there's meant to be
Orange.
green as well, isn't it? And then
Orange, yellow, blue, and green.
Yeah, there should be green. I got the wrong one there.
And there's that big pack too. That monster
Yeah,
pack.
there's a big pack too. So we've got these are UV curing, and then the big packs, which we didn't bring. The big packs are actually
Fluoro.
Well, they're clear.
Clear?
And then was there a glow in the dark one as well? It
No.
was.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And those ones are 2-part, so like a 2-part epoxy. Now we've got the Yorgers, they're back in stock. These are really important for your UV resins.
And finding stubborn stains.
Stubbins.
UV light. We used these on the train thing, didn't we? What's happened? Uh-oh. BJ's gone. You know? We use this on the train thing to set it, and it works like immediately.
Yeah, it only takes like 10-15 seconds. Depends on the thickness.
It
right?
is almost like a magic trick, like it, and it doesn't.
Yeah, although Panda said it got pretty hot.
60 degrees or something, didn't it? But yeah, but it's very safe and really quick.
That's right.
It's almost like a magic, like you put it in there like liquid, and it just looks like a wet glue.
Yeah.
Hit it with that stuff, boom, got yourself a solid plastic piece.
Yeah. It's so convenient because if you use a 2-part epoxy, it takes hours to set.
Right, yeah.
What else we got here? I've
You-
actually done a review on these. These are the
You're-
meshes
You're
or the.
you're a strain on me.
I don't know about your dad
I
jokes.
think you need to restrain yourself.
These are the filters or the strainers for filtering the paint that you put into your airbrush. So you put these over the cup of the airbrush, and there's 2 different microns of.
And you squeeze it on in.
So you pour your paint in there, and then that will capture any chunky bits that may have been in the paint.
Especially if you're using crusty old paints or if you're mixing up a few different
Yeah, that's right.
styles, I suppose. If you're using a flex agent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely makes a difference.
that definitely would make a big
Yeah.
difference.
And look, particularly with paints that you mix, because a bottle of paint can last you years. And as you undo and do up the cap, you get the small bit of crustiness that dries. And if that falls in,
Last thing you want is a bit of crust around the edge.
that's right. And then it gets stuck, and then you got to rip it open and clean it out.
It's true.
You know all about that, don't
But
you?
now we've got airbrush strainers.
That's right.
I think they're a bit complex for me.
Oh, what did I
I'm
do
taking
then?
photos now.
I just took a photo.
I think we need to get our videographer in here and make it a bit more exciting.
Yeah? All right.
No?
So we got,
These are mats.
yeah, but he's let us have them.
All right.
So we've got some of these.
We've got a bloody mess. That's what we've got.
What do we got?
Hey, we've got a
What do we
mess.
got? All right, so we got Kat. She's coming in. She's getting closer. Look at this. These is surface primer, and we've just lost our feed. Oh, there we're back. We're back. All right, so what have we got here? We got surface primers. So surface primers are primers.
Yep.
And we've got these in a variety of colors. There's actually a tan colored one as well.
A tan one.
Yeah, which I forgot to bring in.
Would you use that for military or skin, or what would you
Yeah,
use
so
tan for?
either military or skin will be fine. So if you're painting something, you want to get a color which is close, then you don't have to paint it over again.
Yeah.
So the most common ones would be black or white. Okay, so black one quite often used for figures and such. Oh, we just lost our feed again.
We're going off. I think we've got back connection.
Oh, there we go.
Whose idea was that to go freehand?
That was your idea. Okay, so there's the matte one. Sorry, the black one. Okay, good for figures and stuff. So black basing is for...
Well, black's very slimming, isn't it?
It is because you can't see anything.
Is that what you mean?
So that's meant to be the zero light. That's a pure shadow, and then you build up all your highlights from the black. Then we've got the white.
Yeah.
White's really good for where you need really vibrant colors. So you get the
You
white
really
base.
need it to pop.
Pop.
That's what
Pop
we.
goes a weasel.
That's what we did on our Lancia Stradale.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
you got your grey. Grey would be the most popular because obviously grey is a mix of white and black. So that's more useful for most circumstances. So if you're only getting one primer, get a grey one. And then we've got the green, and then there's a tan as well.
Tan.
Okay, so that's a good base. So you don't have to paint green over any of these. You can start off with green there.
Nothing
already.
like the jogging track.
And then what have we got? We've got next
Give me
popular.
these out of the way.
We've got the chain.
You're off the chain.
We sell heaps of this stuff because everyone loves chains hanging off their stuff.
They do, don't they? Whether it's miniatures, tanks,
That's right. And this is one of the chunkier ones,
trains.
but you can get this in all different shapes and sizes. So this has just come back in stock. All right, what else we got? Let me chuck that back in there.
Your bento box is overflowing.
My bento box.
Are we done?
I don't know. What
What's
about you?
happened? Look, we're all loose.
We're loose as a goose. Is that all I got?
That's all you got. That is enough green stuff, world.
Is
To
it?
sink a ship.
All right,
Let's get back to the panda. Let's
all
get
right,
to the
what's
folks.
going on with the panda?
What have they been saying? Panda of the week.
Okay, so Jeff wants to see the bento box. We already showed the bento
The
box.
bento box has come and gone, Jeff.
Yep.
Help us choose a panda.
All right. So
Who's going to get into a panda?
Anthony is saying hi. All right. So no one's guessing on the panda. Why is no one guessing on panda?
Mate,
So what we want them to do.
the panda's flopping.
All right, there we go.
Is that what's happening?
So these are the 4 options of panda that'll be inside this little thing here.
You don't get all 4 at once.
No, it'll be one of.
1 of 4.
So which one's it going to be? Is it going to be blue tire panda? Is it going to be bed panda? Is it going to be
Hungry panda.
hungry panda? There's milk and stuff.
It's going to be
Or there's going to be pink.
birthing panda.
That's right, pink, just born panda. All right, so 4 options. Give us the 4 options.
Panda
And
with
we'll work on it
child.
from there.
Panda with child.
Well, that's true too. All right, so what else we got here?
What else
Oh.
have we got?
So
I would-
Anthony wants to know, is it a speed secret with no moustache? Have you been moving faster?
Without it,
Yeah.
I've
I
been
reckon
going that
your lip-
fast. I've gone back in time.
I reckon your lips have been moving faster.
You'd know all about it.
I would.
You'd know all about it. Do you want to
Alright.
do? Let's take a look. I think the pandas. We're not getting enough interaction. So you know what?
What are we doing?
I've been up to the end.
You got train of the week now.
I got train of the week. I'm going to
Alright.
train of the week.
Okay, so give us your 4 guesses on the panda.
Give us some
and
pandas.
now, let us know what the train is.
We're going to build a panda live on the air.
So we need to know what the scale is
Scale.
and what kind of train it is.
Class. Do they
Who?
call it a class?
Are you saying I have no class?
No,
Why do you say it that way?
don't they foamies call it class? What class it is?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
The model,
yeah.
class, the color,
The roll line.
the rail line.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys help us.
Yep,
Let's go. You
there you
guys are
go.
the experts.
That's it. All right.
Train of the week. You be very careful with that.
Who?
Yeah.
I'm pretty far away from it. What do you got there?
Tyrrell.
Oh,
A Tyrrell.
P34.
Are you gonna get like? How special is this?
Pretty special.
Why is it special?
Special because it's a very unique design.
Yes.
It's not the newest kit. The kit's been around, but this is a reissue where Tamiya have actually added a lot of photo wedge detail parts. And they've been able to recreate a certain air filter air box, which was run in the Japanese Grand Prix. And the one that ran in the Japanese Grand Prix also had different markings on it. Actually had Tyrrell written in Japanese on the front,
Did it really?
just underneath the Tyrrell there.
There you go. I
Yep.
didn't know that.
Okay, and it also has decals by Cartograph, because the original decals that were printed by Tamiya decals are actually pretty thick, so they look a bit chunky.
Look a bit
And
chunky.
The Cartograph ones are very thin and very accurate.
They're bespoke.
They are. They're very nice. So what we've got here, here's a little bit of detail from the side of the box. That is a huge photo wedge piece here. You can see just that bit there is the filter for the airbox. And then you've got wing side plates. And you can see the airbox there. And there's wing side plates, nice and thin.
So it's made in Japan to
Yep.
celebrate the Japanese 1976 Grand Prix.
There we go. Should we crack it open?
I'm scared.
Let's crack it open.
I've come to a gunfight with a knife. So I don't know. Are you allowed to open this?
I don't know, you've opened it already. Oh, cut it in here.
Cut it where?
Oh, it's a bit late now.
What have I done? Are you going to reuse it?
Hey?
Are you going to reuse it?
Oh, I was thinking of it.
Well, I can't. I should have got a sharper knife.
That's all right. All right, so let's. Oh, chop chop, man.
Well, I'm
Chop,
trying
chop.
to be Mr. I'm trying to be Mr.
Chop, chop.
Gentle,
Chop chop. That's it.
and you know I'm not allowed near sharp things. Then would not approve.
Although you're holding on to a sharp thing at the moment.
Here we go.
Oh, what do you got there? All right, here we go. So we've got a box full of bits.
Show me.
Okay, so we've got all the body components here. Okay,
Why
so
is
this
it blue?
It's blue because it's in Tyrrell blue.
Okay. Do they always change their casting colors?
They did in the old days. So they used to be in the basic color of the kit. Because in the early days, I don't think a lot of people actually painted models. So they put it in that particular color. The other thing too is in these particular models, it probably makes it easier to paint the blue as well, because blue base with blue on top, it's easier to cover. So in here, we've got the top of the bodywork.
Almost super blue.
Yeah. So you've got the cockpit area there, and then
what?
on the bottom, the cockpit. And then we've got parts of the chassis. You've got the sides of the cowling, and then we've got the seat on here. Okay, so they're the early bits. And then we've got bits molded in black. So quite often, Tamiya mold in 3 colors. So body color, black for a lot of the suspension components, and then the silver for the engine components.
I love the engine.
So yeah. Okay, so we've got all the wheels. You got radiators, push rods. All the suspension components are on here. 2 sprues. We've
Chrome.
got chrome bits there. That's a roll bar. And then we've got the engine trumpets, which is really nice. And then here's the engine in the silver bits. So you got exhaust, got the case there, multiple parts to make up the the engine itself with the gearbox at the back.
So that was a V8 car.
Was it?
Well,
And then we've got big chunky tires. They had huge tires back then, didn't they?
well, only on the back.
Yes.
They had 4 small ones on the front.
Yes. Okay, so you get the big chunky ones at the back. There's some wiring as well, which is unusual for a 20 scale car.
Is it?
Yeah, they didn't often give you wiring of this sort of
Wiring
detail.
and tubing.
Yep.
Well, would you
Then-
have to add it yourself?
Sorry?
Would you have to add it yourself?
Yes, that's right. It actually comes with seat belts as well, so they're printed on the fabric.
Well, you don't want it to fall out.
No. And then you've got the decals here. These are the cartograph decals underneath. And
And
then
they're
there's
water
the
slide.
tire. They're water slide, and then there's the tire stencil decals there as well.
Comes with the driver figure.
Comes with a driver figure.
You're not allowed to cut his chin piece and modify his helmet.
Not this one?
No.
Okay. And look at the size of this photo etch. It's absolutely massive.
Is that a big piece?
That's massive. Okay, so there's the filter for the Japanese version.
The airbox.
Yep. You got the radiator grills. You got the end plates for the rear wing.
Wing end plates.
You got little
Aerofoils.
things. You got chunky bits there. You got the discs to show the ventilated slots.
And you've got upper and lower suspension arms.
How good is it?
If you like etched, I think it's really good.
And then you got the manual.
I'm scared of etch.
How good is it?
I think
there you go.
I think it's really, really awesome.
Pretty special, isn't it?
That is super cool.
Isn't it?
Do you know what would be better than this?
What would be better than this?
Well, I don't think it's big enough.
You don't?
No.
Oh, there's the front tires I missed.
Did you think they went there?
Yeah. I'd be worried then.
I reckon it's too small.
Because what do you got?
I got 12th scale.
Oh, look at that.
Let's go to 12th scale town, baby.
It'd be
How
bigger,
cool
isn't
is
it?
this?
Look at the difference. Okay, so they've released a 12 scale as well. Slightly different version.
You sure?
Yeah. So this isn't the Japanese version. Doesn't have the different airbox.
Doesn't have the Japanese writing.
No. But it is basically the same car.
This is
Because
so
we've-
iconic. They did a different car for nearly every race, didn't they?
Yes, that's right.
Am I allowed to smash this box open
Yeah.
too?
Because there was a Mexican one as well, right? Where it was mainly in a white color.
Argentinian, Mexican.
Mexican backhand.
No, that's enough of you and the Mexican backhand.
Is it?
Oops.
Oh, you wrecker.
You have to be careful. I've never had so much anxiety about opening a box.
Oh, look at this.
I've got performance anxiety.
So Steve D's on said, tune in late while working, and listen to the familiar voices, but had to look twice due to the missing Mo.
That's right.
See?
The Mo's gone.
Go fast, Mo.
The Mo's,
That's it.
but the Mo was
Mr.
big.
Rawlings is on.
The
He's
Mo.
asking how we are. How
The
are
Mo-
you?
Oh, we're okay. I think we're going well.
We're okay? Wow,
What
look at this.
What is it?
Look at it. So this got photo etch as well. Should we look from the top?
It's got a mental amount of photo etch.
Let's go from the top.
Big scale series. Do you like it?
So let's get this focused. Is that focused?
It's even got
No,
gauges.
That's focused. Yeah, so this has got a different selection of photo etch, but it's still a big set as well. Okay, so
Look at these trumpets.
yeah, these
Can
are
you-
actually aluminium machine trumpets. Huge piece of photo etch. Okay, so the photo etch has got the disc brakes. You got both sides actually, and then you've got
Wing end plates.
Yep.
Instrument clusters.
these wing end plates look like a different shape, don't they?
It's a different car, mate.
It is too. Yeah, the shape's actually different.
Mm.
Yep. Did you say instruments?
Here,
Oh yeah.
instruments and knobs,
Yep. How good is it?
fuel cap.
Yep. And again, this comes with decals from Cartograph. Okay, so we can pull that out. We'll have a close look at all the rest of the bits. So you can see there's a roll cage again. That's in chrome. Everything's just a lot bigger, right? But being a lot bigger, there's also going to be more bits too. So these are the original trumpets, but they're not going to look as good as the new replacement trumpets. So you can leave those off and use those machine ones.
Spare trumpets.
Trumpets.
Doop-to-doos.
Yep. Got some suspension components.
Suspension.
Yep.
What's the clear bits for, Beach?
So you got the side windows.
Mm.
Okay, because the side of the cockpit had windows so you could see.
Legs. The driver's legs.
I don't know. What would you see?
I think it's so you could see out his mirrors.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so you got there's probably the rear light there as well, the rain light. You've got all the body panels. So you notice the body panels are in more bits. Size of the cockpit, that's the side
Windows.
windows. I wonder why. Was the helmet real low or something? Maybe you could see the tire or something.
See the tire, see the mirror,
corner.
see that, yeah. Blind spot reduction unit.
Must be. Okay, so you got some wings there as well. More panels. This is the top of the bodywork. So this part would have lifted off, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure if this lifts off.
Maybe the whole bit lifted off. Okay, there's the inner sort of monocoque area with the seat.
Show me your motor.
The motor, you want to see motor? All right, here you go. You got motor in this bit. Okay, these are all radiators on this side.
Yep.
You got the heads here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got, where's the blocks? Oh, the boxes are on another sheet. We've got the wing supports, exhausts.
Water pumps, turbochargers.
Are there turbochargers on the thing?
Looks like a turbocharger.
I didn't think they were turbo.
I don't know.
There you go. All right, so there's those bits. And then here's the engine bits you want to look at. Actually,
Look at
hard
it.
to see, isn't it? How's that? Is that better?
Look at the detail.
Yeah. So constructed in a slightly different way to the 20 scale.
Is this a whole new kit?
No.
Wow.
No, it's
Just
an
look
old
at
kit.
Look at the tooling.
Yeah.
I'd struggle to believe that
would've-
that's an old kit.
Is there a date on this?
2018.
That's not 2018. No,
No date.
It would have been earlier than that.
Really? Look at
Yeah.
the tooling though.
No, they had the best tooling. This would have been late 70s.
Wow.
And then, oh, this is pretty important. Oh, you got your tires. So we've got our rubbery tires. They've got little,
Goodyear embossed. We've got suspension springs.
yep, you got clear
tubing.
hosing.
Lots of suspension springs.
Yep, screws. And you know the little marks which are on the tire? Were they depth gauges, were they?
Yes.
Yep.
Depth gauges.
Yep.
In the slick tire.
Yep.
They still have it on slick tires.
Here's all your decals. These are the cartograph decals.
So same manufacturer,
Same manufacturer.
different decal sheet.
So everything's a lot bigger. Who was a Canadian driver? Capadia. And you got all your white elves there as well.
More
Right, yeah.
screws, more parts.
So parts of the
Bit of monocoque.
framework. Yep. Oh, there's a whole monocoque there. Oh, look at that. Pretty flat, isn't it?
Mono and mono.
I've actually never built one of these.
You know what I can see in your near future?
Guess what the year is?
1981.
1977.
Oh, what? That's when they first made this kit.
Yep. This one
No
is full
way.
Yep. Pretty good, isn't it? How good is that for a 50-year-old kit?
Really?
You compare that to an Airfix kit.
What are you trying to say?
Far superior to an Airfix kit.
My favorite are AMTs.
Are they?
1977. I can confirm.
Yep. How good is it? What a beautiful kit.
What did you call me?
A beautiful kit.
Oh,
How's this fit in there?
this is going to be a problem for Jeff.
Is it?
This looks like a Jeff-sized problem.
All right, let's put this over there. That'll go in there. Yep. All right.
Oh, I'm spent.
How good's that? All right, let's see if we've got any guesses on this. Because we're looking at the guesses.
On the train.
There's no one, no bites.
No one's biting
There's
on
no
the train.
bite. There's no bites on the Panda, and there's no bites on the train.
It's funny because I want to bite the Panda.
Do you? Why do you
Don't
want to
you
bite the
reckon?
Panda?
Nobody's going to guess. Can we talk RC?
Let's talk
I
RC.
feel that you've just railroaded me into a whole lot of a rabbit warren of modeling tools and accessories.
Yeah, but it serves you right.
Good, isn't it?
Mm.
Really good.
Mm.
Let's have a look at this. Oh, that's not the run. Here it is. No, and this actually goes with modeling too.
It does. There's a bit of scale, isn't it?
There's a bit of scale.
Mm.
As you guys may or may not have known, we built a T02 recently.
Yep. And raced.
And we raced it, but we actually raced it with, so it was a TTO1. TTO2 hasn't hit the track
Oh,
yet.
hasn't it? Okay.
No, that is still a track virgin. But we wanted to open a TTO2 kit and show you what you guys get.
Yeah.
Because they are such good value.
Let's have a look.
They're definitely not a high spec chassis. They're an entry level chassis. So plastic bathtub, really sort of cheaper materials.
Yep.
But the scaleness that you get with the body
Yep.
and the details there really makes it if you put the effort into it, you can make it like a really nice scale model.
Well, that's the thing about Tamiya. They've always been known for the sharpness of their radio control bodies, and by producing the simple chassis, the chassis is good enough to drive around.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It is really cool.
But it also keeps the costing down so that you can end up with a really nice car. I mean, it might be a bit hard to see there, white on white, but it's super sharp. You see these are multiple piece molds.
Yep.
So there's a mold that's gone in through here.
Yep.
Okay, so this one goes to the back, one goes to the front, and then the central one goes inside. So you can get all the undercut details on the front end and the back end. You can see there as well.
And not many other manufacturers go to that time and effort and detail.
No, that's right.
To do that. It's all just one mold, one hit.
Yeah, and you also get the wheel arches are pre-cut as well.
And the body holes are pre-drilled.
Yes.
So, and I know that stresses a lot of people out. So the wheel arches are traditionally the worst things to cut because they're so round and you can butcher them so easily.
Yeah.
Now all you got to do is cut the skirt of the body off.
Yes.
And a lot of people will leave it on there to protect it while they're painting it.
That's right. The other bit of detail too is the
headlight buckets.
Yeah.
Can we call them buckets?
Yep. The reflections going around. These actually add a lot of depth to the model. So there's the front headlights and also there's a rear as well. And what do you got there? Huge set of decals. These are massive. Okay, so these do take a long time, don't they? You know all about it.
These take a long time.
Okay, but once you put it all on, they look amazing, don't they?
Yeah. So you can do traditionally. You can usually do a fairly simple paint job, but like one or two colors.
Yeah.
And everything else is decal. And the decals do take a lot of time, and you have to do a really nice job cutting them out. But if you take your time and go through the process, you love that sticker, don't you?
I love it. You know what it says?
Tom's.
It says Nyanko.
Ah, Nyanko.
So
Did I say that?
the Nyan sound is meant to be for a cat because in Japanese, instead of saying meow, they say Nyang. Right?
Do they?
Yeah. And so ko is that cute addition to anything, right? And so that's like a cutesy sort of cat sort of thing.
Nyanko.
It's very traditionally Japanese, isn't it? They have very happy logos.
Happy cats.
Yeah. And then you got the AU. So AU is the major sponsor for this, and AU is a telecommunications company over there.
Tom's, Toyota Tom's.
Yeah, which is owned by KDDI.
So this would be a famous, I didn't Google it, but this would be a famous Japanese race car.
Yep, should be.
So I'm not going to do a complete unboxing on all the plastic body chassis components and stuff because we've all been there and seen that in the T02.
Yep.
But I really wanted to show the detail and the bodywork.
Yeah.
Because if you do put a bit of time and effort into it, and you have to call this a cheap on-road kit by today's standards.
Yes.
Here's one that BJ and myself did very recently. And that was obviously a completely different model. That was the AMG.
Yep.
There's a box for it there. BJ actually did the paintwork on this one for me because I hadn't done the texturing finish, which was, so this one's got a matte clear on the outside.
Yep.
So it was painted from the inside traditionally.
Yep, with the gunmetal.
With the gunmetal,
Mm-hmm.
backed with black.
Yep.
And then we scribed out around the window area.
Yep.
And removed the protective sheeting off it.
That's right.
And what that allowed us to do was to create the gloss, leave the windows gloss.
Yep.
And have the paintwork all matte.
Yep.
And you can see the detail on the bucket lights.
They add so much depth. Probably easier to see from the top. You see that? And
there, again, the sticker sheet on this car was quite pronounced. There's like 20 decals just inside each headlight.
Where am I going? Pretty spectacular, isn't it?
It is super cool.
Okay, so that's the front end.
And that's got a similar night bucket to that car.
Yeah, so you can see how glossy they are compared to the bodywork.
Yeah.
It's got the flat on it. Now let's see if we can get the back end. And so we've got the rear lights as well. They're rear light buckets.
Yeah, and that's cast in behind the body. They stick on from the inside afterwards.
Yeah, so you can see the reflections coming off that too. And then no reflection or much coming off the bodywork. And so that's a really nice contrast.
And for a cheap RC kit,
yeah,
you know, and an entry level build, you know, you do spend twice as long doing the body and the stickers than you do the actual car. But it's going to perform really well in its given thing. You know what I mean? So it's going to race in the Tamiya TT
It
class.
just looks right, doesn't it? The proportions of it.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, and on the track, look absolutely fantastic.
And
Love
it's
it.
all part of like and you can see the gloss on the grill as well, where we masked up the grill.
Yep.
Super
How good
cool.
is it?
And that's the level of detail and quality you can get from a cheap RC kit.
Mm.
You know,
And just sitting on the shelf, we had it sitting on the shelf. It looks
really cool.
Yeah,
You'd
it's
have
got a
that
nice
like
size.
you can put that in a cabinet on your
Yep.
desk. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
it's not like die cast level, but for the money, and you can say that you actually like did it. Yeah, I think it's really cool, and it's been fun to have doing a bit of scale box art. It's not something that I'd ever really done in the past. Just race shells because they're pretty disposable.
Yep.
But this one here but this is going to be used on the track because it may as well have a story for it.
That's
You
right.
know, even if it does get a bit scratched and battered and bruised, I think it'll still look cool. And that is a Tamiya TTO kit,
Nice,
TTO2
isn't it?
kit.
It's cool.
Very, very cool.
All right, what have we got here? Oh, what have we got here? So we got Brody wishes model companies would bring out more F1 cars, especially the Red Bull they came out with a few years ago. Also, wouldn't mind some more rally cars. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky question now. because
Motorsport is
it's not as
so
popular.
commercialized as well.
Yeah,
And the companies want to get every dollar they
the
can.
licensing.
The licensing and every little brand
Yep.
is, they have to do a deal with to get put on their cars.
Yes. So that's what
it's
Clifton's actually said too.
massive
So buying the
amount.
license to reproduce F1 cars is expensive, and the cars change all the time. So tooling is expensive.
Mm.
Most slot car manufacturers are moving to generic cars. And that's true because in the heydays of motorsport in the 80s, you had Group B rallying and then what they call World
Group
WRC.
C, WRC.
Yep. And then you had F1 was huge. And so back then it made sense to make those cars because they'll have enough fans out there that would buy them. These days, unfortunately, you don't get that many people into the motorsports. And so I don't think they'll really tool much anymore. There's a few specialist niche companies
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
will do resin models. But the resin models, you have to be really into it because resin models can be $200, $300, $400, $500 for an F1 car of the previous season. So they are available, but you have to imagine they have to pay for the license to make so little cars. So you have to pay for
And it
the
makes-
actual model.
Yeah, you have to pay for the model as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's really quite a thing.
Yep.
But yeah, competition
So-
cars are great.
That's right. So we're lucky that Tamiya still gets the license occasionally to build or produce some of their earlier models.
Yeah.
And that's a reason why we haven't seen McLarens in a while, because McLarens were reproduced for a while because obviously they'll pay for a license for a period.
Yeah.
And then when it expires, they're not available anymore.
It's funny, and they did the same thing with Mustangs.
Yep.
Because in the TT02 series, that
Yes.
car that I just showed, they're releasing a McLaren Senna.
Yep.
Which is probably going to be sought after again,
Mhm.
just for that scalability and that 10th scale model.
Yep, that's right.
And it'll have the same bodywork, like the light buckets and everything like that. Be
Yep.
really cool, and it'll be a new build for them.
Yes.
That McLaren.
Yes.
So that'll be really cool. So keep an eye out for that.
What else we got? We got more stuff, haven't we?
You want to talk train?
What's that?
I want to talk train.
You want to talk trains?
Come on, guys!
No
Don't
one's
let me
guessing.
down. Last week you did so well.
No one's guessing. I think
Nobody cares.
I reckon everyone's working.
Nobody cares. What they
Everyone's
can't
working.
Google
So
it. They can't do a bit of
I
research.
don't know. It's in the middle of the week. I guess a Friday you can sort of ease off a bit on your work. On a Wednesday you can't really.
We've got
Maybe.
a Panda. We're going to build that in a
Panda?
second. How long have we been
Oh,
going
just
for?
Vento. We've been going for just over 1 hour.
Let's talk Sherman.
All right. This is another new model from Tamiya. So the
That's
kit,
not a model.
well, it's a radio control model.
Radio control.
So it's a plastic model kit which has been converted to take radio control equipment. And it's actually pretty sophisticated. It's more sophisticated than their earlier stuff, which used to be, they used to design every plastic model to take a motor in the earlier days. And then they changed them over to be more scale because people didn't want motors in them anymore. But this one is a scale model that's been converted back to full radio control.
So is it an old kit?
No.
No.
So, I mean, the tooling has been around,
Let's
but
go
it's
to,
been fully redesigned.
let's
for
go to Overhead
radio
Town,
control.
baby. Let's have a look.
All right, so we've got an M4 A3 Sherman.
What? It comes with radio gear?
Yeah, 2.4 gig radio.
What?
Gig. It's all included. It's all in here.
Really?
Okay, and it's got the tracks as well. So there's special tracks to actually drive around on and the full running gear.
You have a look in there.
Okay, so this is the whole section. So these are all from a standard plastic kit, which you can buy without the radio control equipment. So you've got full detail of a plastic kit in here.
And the turret not only rotates, but the elevation of the gun goes up and down.
Does it?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I didn't see that. Does it?
It does. That's what it says on the box.
Oh, okay.
And there's 3 sticker kits in there.
Right. Okay, so here's the hull. So it's a brand new hull. They've designed a new hull with all the batteries in it. And that'll also house the running gear and also the brain unit inside. You got your turret here. So I'm guessing if we dig deeper, so here's the special tracks. Individual tracks, they feel like a harder resin. Okay, so they're going to be tougher.
Yeah, they will be like, I suppose they'll be like rubberized a bit.
Yeah,
I imagine
well,
they
they're ABS.
Yeah.
Yep, so they're ABS tracks. And then what's we
Link
got in here?
pins.
There's got to be something under this section here, I reckon. No, there's not really. There's instructions.
We love
So
instructions.
all your special bits will probably be in the box you just took out. Here's the motorized parts. Oh, here's the turret. You got the turret module right there. We've got the drive module here. Another drive module there. A lot of metal bits and screws.
I'm gobsmacked.
Oh, there's your radio. 2.4 gig radio with all the extra buttons for all your
Look at all the
extra
channels.
things. So these buttons here must be for your turret, and this must be for the gun elevation.
So 4 channel.
4 channel. And there's your multi-control
Oh, well,
unit.
have 4 servos.
Yeah, so that would be all modularized.
How cool is that?
Look at here.
It's actually quite easy to assemble. Like the turret unit's all one piece.
Yes.
So you can see the 2 servos here.
Yep.
I'm not going to completely unbox everything.
So here we go. This is actually making the
Look at the gearbox.
super nice, isn't it? All metal gears, yeah.
No,
Metal?
no,
Plastic?
they're plastic, but it's really super nice and really well engineered. Like
Yep.
it's going to be quite strong.
So
Very
we've got
cool.
the drive units here. So you've got 2 drive units for the drives, obviously, left and right, for the tank.
I can't believe
then
it comes with radio gear.
There's a turret unit.
Hmm.
And how do they do the elevation? So the elevation must be, well, there's a turret going together. Oh, here we go. We've got this magnet action.
Magnet.
Oh, so it's an electromagnet that moves the gun up and down.
There's pivots from the back.
Yep. How clever is it?
They've done
That's how
some
you
good
drive.
work, huh?
Yeah. Nice. And it's a lot more affordable than their big stuff.
I couldn't believe how cheap it was. I think we should have bought 35 of these because
35?
I don't think the 15 that we got's enough.
No,
These are going to fly out the door.
they will.
These are super cool. The tank guys are going to love them, and the RC guys probably going to love them too, I'd say.
Yeah, well, it's a mix of both sort of genres, isn't it? Or
It's a synergy.
disciplines.
Disciplines.
All right, what do we got?
I think that's it.
All right, we've got one guess on the Panda.
Oh,
Jeff reckons it's a pinky. All right, we're going to crack it.
I'm
We're gonna
cracking
crack
it,
it.
all right. I'm really disappointed.
You cracking it? They're taped together really well.
Are they?
Yep.
You just want to see me bleed on camera again.
What do you mean?
You know
When was the
exactly.
last time you played? It was a while ago, wasn't it?
Are we
What's
looking?
going on? Is that childproof? Are we going from the top?
Did you see what I
I
saw?
didn't see anything. Hang on.
Ready?
Hang about.
Are you ready? The grand vivid.
Hang on, let me focus. What do we got? Oh, it's a pinky.
The pinky!
It's a pinky.
Do you know what that means? I'm going to call the pinky Jeff. What do you reckon? We shall name the panda Jeff.
That's pink.
It is
Right, hang on.
panda with child. Even I can build this model. It's got a sibling. I'm really making hard work at this speed. Talk me through it. Don't go
It's
quiet.
Screaming. It's screaming. You know,
That's what?
see the face there? There it goes.
He's yelling at us.
Oh, he's a half pink. We've got a half pink.
Or half black, whichever way you look at it.
And then we got the full panda. Okay, so this is the same panda that was upside down before. So we're going to do like this.
Is that what you can do?
We can do like that.
I'm pretty sure. We shall name him Jeff. Jeff the Panda. Congratulations, Jeff. You've actually won another competition. Is there a competition this guy can't win?
Oh, no.
Meow. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk.
What's that nyuk nyuk?
I don't know. Is that what they do?
I don't know. Is that panda sound?
I don't know.
Nyuk nyuk.
It is for me.
All
All right, let's go.
right.
Thank you for joining us on Panda Week. How cool is that?
Nice, eh?
Oh, in
And
a
you got
little
a
cup.
pinky.
And I didn't even have to build it. But
No.
it's actually like good quality. Is it resin?
Yeah. And no, it'll be vinyl. And
Vinyl?
then you can turn its head and stuff. I think.
So is that the desirable one? Oh, fully
There you
posable. Posable Panda.
That's it.
Posable Panda named
cool, isn't it?
Jeff.
Shall we look at the train? Because we've got no takers for the train.
Well, we have to. We're stuck looking at the train ourselves. No
What are we
help
gonna
from
do?
anybody.
All right, let's bring this over.
Now I
What do
know
you want?
all about this train.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do
I
you know about
studied.
it?
I studied hard. You can't have a look at my cheat sheet.
Oh,
This
man.
is a class 4 BR, and BR in my notes stands for British Railways,
Let me get that focus properly.
and it's British Racing Green. Is that right?
No, it's British Rail Green.
British Rail Green,
Oh, there we go.
and it's a 1CO1 wheel configuration, and it is N scale in class.
Yep.
Have a look at the size of it. That will not go around our little layout.
No.
That is huge. And it is DCC speaker fitted.
Yep.
So all you need to do is bang a little chip in there.
Yep.
If you
And
want
then
to
it'll be
have
digital.
sound. If you want to have full digital.
Yep.
But
But look at the detail that's actually on it. So there's a lot of molded in detail.
that was first built in 1958.
Was it?
Yep. There was 200 built. And I've been assured by somebody that there's a couple still in operation.
Right.
1958 to 1962. So 4 years. And they've survived this long.
How good is it?
200 built in total, diesel, electric.
And these are made by Graham Farish.
Graham Farish,
Yep.
commonly referred to as the Whistler.
The Whistler.
The Whistler. It makes it sound like eerie, cool, doesn't it?
Does it?
I don't know why they would call a diesel electric train a Whistler. Maybe it was because it wouldn't have had a whistle. It's not steam.
Really?
Definitely not steam. It's not a steam train.
How good is it? It's cool. Oh, well, there you go. So we had two things to guess, and one got guessed.
2 things to guess. 1 got guessed. We got there in the end.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us. This has been a crazy Wednesday.
It's been fun, isn't it?
It's been an awesome episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope everybody has a good break. And then we'll be doing it all again next week.
That's right.
Next week's going to be a special show, but we'll announce that later, won't we?
So you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that one, but we'll make it
We will definitely make it.
interesting and fun.
I know, right? We still got
Yep.
all this stuff to unpack.
Yep.
Fantastic, guys. Thanks heaps for joining us. Look forward to seeing you guys out and about. Any questions, queries, or comments, please let us know.
Absolutely.
Anything you want to see on the show, let us know. Until then, take care,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you later.